Anyways, to the volume 4. Oh, I remember this place. I think. Let us rewind to a moment in the recent past. The scene took place on a Saturday morning in early December. The third period over just before lunch. The only activity that remained before the scholastic day ended was homeroom. Two Class C students, Soujuurou Shizuki and housemate Kinomi, were sitting outside of the balcony overlooking the schoolyard. They were stuck waiting for their homeroom teacher, Mr. Kazuki Yamashiro, and could not leave until he arrived. The rest of the classmates were chatting idly in the classroom. As Ace Tobimaru Tsukiji was killing the time alongside them, the listless trio discussed their weekend plans as they leaned on the veranda's railing.
木の実はベアでアルバイトか？
バカ！誰が日曜まで働くかったよな。明日はほら B 組の子たちと遊びに行く予定だったんだけどな。なんかうちから出られねえ。
ん？それはつまりまた振られたのか？
You felt at the cups and checks. What a loser you are.
ぐわー直撃！言いづらいことをまっすぐ言うよね、しずきくんってば。
そりゃ毎日てめえのバカ面見てればひよこだって振られるって言葉を覚えるだろうよ。自滅するのは勝手だけどな。くれぐれもその字に変な遊びを教えんなよ。
はあ？そりゃ殿下の方じゃねえの。気ぃつけろよ、しずき。築地はマジで腹黒いからよ。こいつの頭ん中はほらあれゴミ捨て場の張り紙あんな感じだから、くっきり使えるもんと使えないもん分けてんだよ。
ああ、それは知ってる。ところで唐突に思ったんだが、飛び丸の中じゃ木の実はどういう扱いなんだ？
そうだな、粗大ゴミ回収は金でももらわねえと割り合わなくなるんじゃねえか。国が無料で回収するのはそろそろおしまいってとこ。
はあ？何言ってんのお前。使い古しのタンスとか高く売れるじゃん。俺みたいな開封即使用みたいな男がこれからのトレンドなわけでしょ。ほらコンビニで売ってる使い捨てカメラとか大人気だし、ようやく流行が俺の消費文明に追いついたと。
じゃあ木の実はバイトと。飛び丸は？
来るからね、ちゃんと俺の時代。
俺はちょい塩だ。親父の客が来てるんで接待しなきゃならん。街の案内をしてくれとさ。
聞けよ、人の話聞けよ。あのよ、俺は妹の相手してやるだけなんだよ。隣のクソ中華飯店の手伝いなんかしねえよ。
その女は明日もバイトか？
いや、それが一日空いてる。今日はこれから遊園地でアルバイトだけど。
それって魔のきついランド？タフだね、しずき。あそこのバイトは柔道部の連中でも値を上げるって話じゃんか。
なんとまさか猫黒の荷物運びより辛い？
いや、そこまではよく。しかし山城の野郎おっせえな。見ろ、隣の B 組すらお帰りになられてるぞ。
だな、仕方ねえ。面倒だが呼んでくるか。その字を遅刻させるわけにはいかねえし。
Thanks, guys. It's okay. Huh? Hello? And if by design, the moment the Bimana Tsukichi stood up wearily from the balcony railing, the school's PA system chime rang.
2年 C 組の静木宗十郎くん、山城先生がお呼びです。至急職員室まで来てください。繰り返します。2年 C 組の
An awkward silence fell upon the three. After a long 5 seconds, Soujuurou said goodbye and headed back inside.
面白いことねえな。誰か校庭にミステリーサークルとか作ってくんねえかな。
Kalami grumbled, slouching his shoulders and said, coming to his lethargy.
他人の妄想力に期待すんなよ。刺激が欲しいならてめえでイベントを起こせ。ほら、クラス分け発表の時よろしく。青崎に突っかかればすぐだぜ。
よみがえるトラウマ、やだよ。会長の大立ち回りは面白いのを通り越して恐ろしいよ。善良な一男子生徒としちゃ美少女が転校してくるだけでいいんだよ。まあ普通の子じゃつまんないからハリウッドのプロデューサーとかイギリスの歌姫とか。
Why am I finally use keyboard?
どんなくくりだそりゃ。そこは火星のお姫様あたりにしとけよ。
それと2年 C 組の皆さんへ山城先生から伝言です。
Oh wait, it's impossible.
山城先生は訳あってホームルームを欠席しますので、各自勝手に下校しちゃってくださいね。それではでは。以上、放送室からお知らせしました。
どうよこれ。山城新車買ってからフリーダムすぎね。このままではあの真新しいセルビアに俺のギザ銃がうなりかねん。
鍵穴にガム程度にしとけ。教師の発給はマジ同情に値するからな。
The two frenemies entered the classroom, complaining all the while. The concern for their mutual friend summoned to the faculty office completely out of mind.
納得いきません。生徒のアルバイトは認められています。学校公認の職場であるなら社会経験の一環として推奨すると校則にもありますが。
そうなんだけどね。彼の場合やりすぎなのが問題なわけで、仮にもし認可していない労働基準法に反してそうなところで働いてたら困るでしょ。うちも彼も。
The volatile tension between the ruthless student council president and the easygoing modern language teacher permeated the room. Trying to be spared from the impending confrontation, the other teachers hurriedly relocated to the meeting room. By the time Mr. Yamashiro noticed this, the only other person in the room was the student council president, Aoko Aozaki.
逃げたか。ひどいなみんな。怖いのは僕に押し付けてばっかりだもんな。
Because you all are meant to be the background characters that we'll never ever see.
話の続きです、先生。仮に彼が指定以外のアルバイトをしているとしたら、それは彼の要求に学校側が応えていないからではありませんか？下宿先の家賃を奨学金で賄えとは言いませんが、時間の許す限り働きたいという要望は考慮すべきです。指定外のアルバイトを疑うのなら、まず働き先は1生徒につき1件だけという規則を改めてください。
After hearing her out and realizing there was no way she would back down, Mr. Yamashiro hung his head. This was supposed to be easy. The plan was to call in the student rumored to be working multiple jobs, confirm her the rumor was true, and if so, give him a warning and some guidance. Then head to lunch with the knowledge that all was right with the world. The student council president, who was coincidentally in the faculty room at the time, had heard the entire issue and decided to call out this injustice. As far as Mr. Yamashiro was concerned, she was in the right, and he was well aware of the aforementioned student situation. Good. Personally, he would have liked to help, but among the faculty, he was just a new kid on the block. He wanted to see on the vice principal's good side, and at the very least not lose his job, as badly paid as it was.
こればかりはね、副教頭先生直々の注意なんで僕も助けてあげられないんだよ。
それでしたら落としどころがあればいいんですね。
ん？
The student council president removed the document from her bag. It was a document that had been brought up in the morning's faculty meeting, bringing a host of headaches with it.
青崎くん、それは。
はい、愛田協会のボランティア参加の申告書です。今月も希望者ゼロですね。敬虔なクリスチャンである副教頭先生はさぞお気を悪くしているかと。我が校の生徒には新人が足りんと今朝も嘆かれていたとか。
そうだけど、どうして君が今朝の職員会議の内容を知っているか聞きたいよ、ほんと。
Mr. Yamashiro scratched his head, but his eyes were smiling gleefully. He had figured out the student council president's objective.
魚心あれば水心ありですか。教会への奉仕活動はボランティアだけど、きちんと謝礼が出る。あれも形の上では学校側が推奨する社会見学だからね。副教頭先生は参加者が出たことに喜び、加えて
その参加希望者がすでに他のアルバイトについていた場合、学校側の認可が2つになっちゃいますね。前例にしてはいい落としどころだと思いますが。
Mr. Yamashiro raised his hands in surrender. There were a few students able to both raise a complaint and propose a proper solution. Perhaps it was her big sisterly disposition that made this girl so simultaneously feared yet trusted.
よし、その方向で攻めてみよう。うまくいくよう祈ってくれよ。
他力本願は嫌いです。悪巧みに乗ってくれるのならきちんと活躍してください、山城先生。
With a bow, the student council president turned to leave the faculty room.
ああ、待った。君も残るんだ。今からしずきくんを呼ぶからちゃんと面倒を見てもらわないと。
は？
Do I have to? The girl's cold eyes narrowed. Unable to process what she just heard, her expression turned to just scowl.
いや、参加希望者は一人より二人の方がいいだろう。青崎くんがフォローしてくれるなら僕も安心だしね。
ちょっと先生。
Nope.
ああ、放送室2年 C 組のしずき宗十郎くん、至急職員室に来てください。で放送お願いします。
だから先生。
いやー、これで万全だ。まさか頭痛の種が同時に消え去るなんて今日はついてる。ああ、けど青崎くん、ずいぶん親身になってくれるんだね。何？もしかしてああいうのがタイプ？あ、放送室さん、ついでに生徒会長が心からお待ちしていますと付け足してー。
って山城
She's the only person that can do that to a teacher. The next day, a pleasant Sunday. Soujuurou was awake 2 hours before the time he was supposed to meet her. After getting up, he decided to go for a leisurely jog to clear his mind, but lost among his own thoughts. His 30-minute jog turned into almost an hour upon realizing he rushed home. After thoroughly racking his brain over what to wear for the occasion, he decided upon wearing his school uniform.
午前10時、三崎中央公園の東入り口で待ち合わせ。
Yesterday in the faculty room. When Aoko Aozaki had shared the time and place with him that day, she said it with such a pain on her face. Maybe she was fighting a headache at the time.
しかし青崎の風邪は治っているのだろうか。
Soujuurou muttered his words of concern, misguided as they were. In any case, he waited for about 5 minutes. At precisely 10 o'clock, the student council president appeared.
おはよう。いつものことだけど、時間だけはぴったりよね、あなた。
Hello, Aoko. Bitchy and angry as usual, I see.
ひどい顔ね。もしかして気分悪いの？
いや体調はいいと思う。
He waved off her concern.
だがしかし青崎は制服だった。
ええ、学校の行事だもの。当然でしょ。
A heavy weight of despondency fell upon Soujurou's shoulders. The angsting over his outfit for the previous 2 hours had been rendered meaningless just like that. The duo, clad in their school uniforms on a day off, walked by the train station. In the beginning, Aoko had made efforts to give Soujuurou a thorough lay of the land. But today she only shared the bare minimum of explanations. This was partially because, surprisingly, Soujuurou had become well accustomed to the town. Which restaurants were good, which shortcuts to use in a rush, and why the nearby bicycle shop was better than the department store by the station. If you wanted to buy a bicycle, things a local would know. But the reason was because it all dawned on Aoko how the two of them conversing might look to passerby.
話は変わるけど具体的にどんな労働内容なのかそろそろ聞いていいかな。
Not dead. Don't look at us like that. From here on, volunteering at the church meant that the school would tolerate his multiple jobs. Soujuurou had quickly agreed to the tempting offer, nodding like a bobblehead. But, as was typical for him, he had failed to consider the content of the proposal.
まあ、そんなことだろうと覚悟はしてたけど。あなた、間教会は初めて？
教会なら2回目だ。珍しい建物なんで近寄ったら中の人がタダでお菓子をくれたんだけど。
Father doubted sincerely how excitedly the church worked. His contemplative posture made him appear part of the philosopher, but after all his thinking, he concluded. I guess he started taking your money on your second visit. Such was the extent of Soujurou's concerns.
普通そういうことは子供にしかしないんだけどね、あの教会は。
Aoko sighed at the lost little lamb.
で、どんな人に会ったの？神父？それともシスター？
それは綺麗な女の人だった。
じゃあゆいかさんの方ね。今日会ったらお礼をって必要ないか。あんたのことだからそのあたりはきちっとしてるだろうし。仕事の話なら簡単よ。学校でやってることと変わらないから。あの教会、規模の割に人数が少ないのよ。
Aoko picked up her piece as she headed for the church. Somehow she seemed like a general in invading enemy territory. It made Soujuurou furrow his brows in discomfort. And the church had a long history. Far from the station, it was white-painted sanctuary nestled between the business and residential districts. Actually, it's comfortable. Come back over here. As far as Aoko could remember, the church as she knew it now was the result of a remodeling done 8 years prior. It was practically a cathedral for a town of its size. Incidentally, located next to it was the Misaki City General Hospital. From Aoko's perspective, it seemed awfully suspicious for the church to take up residence next to the location in the city where the most lives were lost. Though the only two who were aware of this, of his opinion, were her roommate, Alice Kuonji, and a priest.
青崎はこの教会に縁があるのか？
Do I look like one? Do you think I care about Jesus?
私はこれっぽっちも。もう過去に戻って改ざんしたいぐらい微塵もないけど、うちの父と祖父は長い付き合い。
Wow.
ここの手伝いなんて、忌々しいことに小学生の頃は毎日してたもんだけど。
The more Aoko spoke, the more twisted her expression became. Recalling this made her want to grab it by the proverbial collar, give it the proverbial one-armed judo back throw, smash his proverbial hand into the proverbial ground, and kick the proverbial living daylights out of its defenseless proverbial torso. Such was her so-called trauma that if it were anthropomorphized, it would take more than a 5-round beating to satisfy her thirst for vengeance. Kawaii. It was in this moment, as he became aware of Aoko's mood, that Soujuurou began to fear for his safety. Perhaps attracted by the noisy murder of crowds outside of the church, a woman in a nun's habit emerged from the front entrance.
失礼ですが、どちらのお客様でしょう。当教会は暴力団関係の方はご遠慮いただいておりますので、日を改める、あるいは生き方を悔い改めた後、社会的な罪を償ってから門をくぐっていただきたいのですが。
青崎青子です。シスターユイカ。
Oh, you, the Satan! Go back to hell from whence you came!
まあ、青子さんでしたか。驚きました。昼間のうちにあなたが来るのは久しぶりです。
そうですね。いつもは夜に呼ばれて神父様とだけお話をしていますから、ユイカさんとは。まあ意外ですね。1年近くまともにお話をしていません。ま、この先だって一度もないでしょうけど。
ええ、あなたも随分と立派になられたようでがっかりです。何より今の気配は清らかな少女とは思えないほど悪辣でした。
Observers the two exchanged congenial greetings. Unable to read between the lines, also sure could see was sure good friends.
今月のボランティアは私とそこの彼です。親愛なる間協会のためですから、10時から3時まで1分の狂いもなくきっかり働かせていただきますわ。
まあ、世も末ですが歓迎しますね。神の家は万人に等しく開くもの。この際、あなたの内面は見なかったことにしておきましょう。
The nun flashed a smile that was equal parts elegant and cruel. Keeping up appearances aside, she seemed overjoyed to have able hands to put to work. The sister introduced herself as Yuka Susie and thanked Soujuurou, who had volunteered of his own volition. Soujuurou noticed that her eyes were always shut, but not wanting to be rude, especially in front of Aoko, he decided not to pry.
しずきさんとおっしゃるのですね。
Yes, how could you tell with your eyes closed?
声のイメージ通り、落ち着いたお名前です。
はあ、それはどうも。
The sister looks up and frowned at Soujurou's ambivalent response to her compliment.
失礼。名字で呼ばれるのはお嫌いのようですね。宗十郎さんでよろしいですか？
いや、どっちでもいいですけど。
ではそのように。ほんと難儀なことですね。
Though the sister's tone was gentle, her words seemed somewhat indifferent. She looked silent, but she got it to chew with sanity in her step.
それで奉仕の内容ですが。
分かってます。クリスマス前だし、面倒な掃除を済ませておきたいんでしょ。問題ありません。そういうの得意ですから。
It wasn't their strong suit as much as it was Soujurou's.
では青子さんはかまどの方で聖兵の作り置きを、しずきさんは外に、私どもでは手の届かない箇所の清掃をお願いします。
ちょっと待って。台所にリツカのやついないでしょうね。こんなところであんなのに会うなんてごめんだから。
リツカは留守です。ですのでどうぞ気兼ねなく。
With a dismissive wave, Aoko headed towards the door in the back of the worship hall. And she had indicated she was quite accustomed to this church.
しずきさんはこちらに。まずは物置から清掃道具を運んでいただきます。
The work entrusted to Soujuurou did not require any particular skill. It was window cleaning at its most standard.
窓を全部拭けばいいんですね。
水拭きと空拭き、その後にコートスプレーもお願いします。はしごの高さは足りますか？
あれ、ちょっと足りないっぽいですね。
では届く範囲で結構ですので、よろしくお願いします。
After the brief exchange, the sister returned to the church. Soujuurou began to wonder if it was out of distress to him that she was being so curt. He understood that it was too soon to glean an answer from their first meeting. But then again, such answers always eluded Soujuurou. Let alone, but not less encouraged, Soujuurou began cleaning the windows. Today's weather was a disappointment once again. Jesus, what the hell was that sound previously? It had not gone so far as to rain, but was too overcast to enjoy the sun. He went against a tall ladder and, beginning with a window about 5 yards from the ground, quietly cleaned. Soujuurou was the never kind of person to mind physical labor. In fact, there had been a blue sky. If this might have been a perfect day off to him. By the time he finished his third or fourth window, he felt very relaxed and began to whistle. Though 15 feet was an intimidating height, it provided for a wonderful view at the same time. Turning towards the town gave Soujuurou a clear view of the tree-topped hill that had previously caught his eye.
やっぱり林の中に家があるような。
Yes. The hill and the woods just outside of town. Be prepared to live there. I bet. From here, the forest overlooking the sleepless city looked like a foreign castle.
あれ？なになに、泥棒さん？
Sadly, it is just him. Lost in his thoughts while wiping windows, Soujuurou has pulled out of his hands by someone pacing below him. He looked down and saw a girl, her unkempt clothes otherwise contrasting with her kind visage.
でもちょっと怪盗には似合わないのんびり屋さん風味。どっちかっていうとあれかしら。暖炉から現れては微妙にいらないおもちゃを押し付けるセイントみたいな。うわー、私あのヒゲ苦手なのよね。だってどう見ても不法侵入者じゃないあの人。
You don't like Santa Claus? She looked to be in her late 20s. Despite the coat, she was not wearing a coat. She had no purse either, which was very strange as a woman and her purse were now far apart. Not that Soujuurou knew this truth quite yet. It's quite beautiful. Based on the fact that none of this seemed to apply there, one could have easily surmised that she was herself a little loosey-goosey. A few cards short of a full deck, one might also say.
あ、私ピンときたわ。君、ミサコのバイトの子？偉いわ。今時の高校生は業者さん顔負けなのね。
The girl looked up in admiration to Soujuurou as he stood atop his ladder.
よーし、私も手伝っちゃおうかな。はしごはまだある？他の雑巾は？どうせだからホースで水をかけるのはどうかしら。こうバーッとケルヒョーとか叫びながら。バチ当たりだけど、それなら少しぐらいは楽しくなりそうじゃない？
The girl let out a hearty laugh. Her smile glowed like a cactus and its sprout legs had begun to run about. Inasmuch as a running cactus could only cause trouble. As Soujuurou anticipated, the girl began to clean without waiting for his approval.
いえ、教会の前を通ったら人影っぽいのが窓にへばりついてるのが見えちゃったの。昼間っから泥棒とか豪快だなーってちょっと興味惹かれちゃって。そしたら可愛い子が真面目に労働してたわけ。窓拭きの達人みたいにビッとかっこよく。そんなの見せられたら手伝いたくなるのが人情じゃない？
I appreciate that, honestly. Wiping the window next to Soujuurou, the girl continued to cheerfully chatter. Although this was all kinds of suspicious, Soujuurou politely followed her lead, nodding and agreeing as she spoke. Perhaps it was an instinctive camaraderie. He sensed this girl was just like him, always getting the short end of the stick when it came to the manual work.
あなたは教会の人なんですか？
私？いえ、ただの通りすがりよ。それよりあなたってのは他人行儀ね。君とは商店街で何度も会ってるのに。
いや、会ってませんよ。
会ってます。君、魚達さんでバイトしてる子でしょ？今週だけでも何度か行ってるもん、私。私はそうね、花沢って言うんだけど、君の名前は
Hanazawa took a quick glance at the floor bed below in the middle of her introduction, then gave him a friendly laugh. Soujuurou's self-introduction here was his usual brand of awkward.
宗十郎
Hi,
さん。
I'm human.
いい名前ね、古風な感じで。名前に数字が入ってるとなんか日本人って感じがしない？ここの神父さんとかシスターの名前知ってる？エイリとかユイカとかなんか外国風なんだけど。
エイリさんはともかく、ユイカさんは綺麗な黒髪の女の人でしたよ。
あら、神父さんにはまだ会っていないのね。相田教会の美形神父と美人姉妹って言ったら有名なんだけど。あ、そうか。さては君、最近引っ越してきたんでしょう。しかも一人暮らしと見たわ。
そうですけど、花沢さんすごいですね。さっきからあまりにも的確な当てずっぽうです。
いえいえ、推理と言ってくれたまえ。君ぐらいの子がアルバイトに精を出すほどこの町の娯楽は魅力的じゃないもの。遊ぶお金ならバイト一件で賄えちゃうわ。君は物欲のあるタイプじゃなさそうだし。となるとこれはもう生活費のためと考えるのが健全でしょ。まあ学生さんが生活費も学費も自分だけで賄うなんてのは健全じゃないんだけど。
いや、そうでもないですよ。働かざる者食うべからずです。
そっか。宗十郎さんは若いのに立派ね。
私も学生の頃はバイト三昧だったから、少しは君の大変さもわかるわよ。
なんと花沢さんも一人暮らしだったんですか？
ええ、親の反対を押し切ってよその国に留学しちゃったの。あっちには友達もいたから下宿先には困らなかったけど、さすがに食費ぐらいは稼がないとね。けどまあこう見えて肉体労働は苦にならないタイプだし、学院もバイトも楽しい思い出になってるわ。
おお。
Sojiro nodded agreeably. Later fighter learned he could barely hold back the sense of solidarity that was welling up within him.
これも何かの縁だし、魚達さんではこれからお世話になりそうだし、頼りないだろうけど相談事があったらぜひ言ってね。精神面で力になるわ。
ありがとうございます。じゃあ早速ですけど、ここは何をするところなんでしょう？
Sojiro said here, he pointed at the church. Even Hanazawa was taken aback by his question. Unaware of Sojiro's provincial background, combined with her quick-witted nature, Hanazawa seemingly mistook his question for some kind of sophisticated wit.
そうね。
Why is that place so buff?
心の安全を扱っているというのはどうかしら。いえ、安全というよりは鎧？継ぎはぎのバリケード？とにかく本人はちっとも鍛えられないってことは同じよね。あとはパンとワインも分けてくれるわね。
無料でですか？
もちろん。止めるものは勝手に置いていくって話。あとはそっか、これが一番大きいんだけど、収入に税金がかからない。心の安全は扱いが難しいけど、きちんと売り物にできればノーリスクハイリターンよ。
はあ、よくわからないですけど、ピンチの時はここに転がり込めばいいんですね。
それはおすすめしないな。ご利用は月に1回、気休め程度にした方がいいと思う。
Direct squeak, the statue carefully self-content wiped out the windows. Whistling as he went, he shined up one window, then another, then another.
そうだ、もう一つあります。ここから見えるあの森、何ですか？
森？あの山の上にある森のこと？
ですけど、あれは山じゃなくて丘というべきです。
As someone raced the countryside, Sojuro's pride would not allow for a mound of dirt to be called a mountain.
そう？あれはあれで結構登るのに体力使うんだけど。
Same.
ま、そっちの方がよりらしいわね。
As if it was... It was as if a shadow fell over her till now sunny disposition. She was undoubtedly a beautiful woman with a very lovely features. Yeah. But as Sojiro looked at her in that moment, her smile melted away, and he saw how disturbed she was at his comment. And it comes down to it.
あれは丘です。それとほら、ここから煙突みたいなの見えますけど、あれは何ですか
？Soujuurou was not one to closely watch people's reactions and fuss over his speech.
あれは本物の煙突よ。あの森は全部私有地なんだけど、その中にでっかい洋館が建っているの。でも私有地だから地元の人間も入ったことはないんじゃないかしら。通称クオンジのお化け屋敷ってね。近所の皆さんは気味悪がってるし、あんまり近寄らない方がいいんじゃない？あんな小さな森なのに遭難したとか野犬が出るとか物騒な話には事欠かないから。
野犬って都会にも野犬？
たくさんいるわよ。この教会の裏手の空き地にだっているし、ここの神父さんは物好きだからパンとかあげちゃって、それでワンちゃんの巡回ルートになっちゃってるんでしょうけど。とにかく君子危うきに近寄らずよ。あの森には入らないのが町のルールなの。そもそも私有地だし、入ったらおまわりさんを呼ばれちゃって、そのまま交番でお説教タイムなんてあんまり楽しくないでしょ。
Those are not along the sorcery. He stared at the far-off chimney from his vantage point on the ladder. A teeny tiny part of him was curious about it hell because it reminded him of the woods where he grew up. But after reminding himself that it was none of his business, he returned to window washing. Thanks to Hanazawa lending a hand, they were able to finish the job without a hitch. Between the two of them, they had accomplished a simple but very time-consuming task.
はい、ご苦労様でした。あれだけ砂まみれだった窓が見違えたわね。
Hey, wake the fuck up.
どう？これから適当な茶店でお茶にしない？宗十郎さんの仕事っぷりに敬意を表して、私がおご。
はい、何か言いました、花沢さん。
You were in the middle of asking me to come with you so you could pay me for the food. Buy me food.
いや、ごめんなさい。休養を思い出しちゃった。花沢さんはここで失礼するのでした。チャオ。
No free food for eyes. By the time Soujuurou, who had started putting away the ladder, turned around, he was only able to catch a glimpse of the girl's figure dashing towards the street at lightning speed. It was just before 3 o'clock. That sky looks a little bit familiar. More than 3 hours had passed since Hanazawa offered to help. Soujuurou watched a girl with many strange faces disappear. For someone who seemed to have been on an aimless walk, Hanazawa had spent a good deal of time with him. Maybe helping Soujuurou out reminded her of something she needed to do.
しずきくん、そっちにいるの？
The student council president popped her head out from the corner of the church.
あ、声かけてごめん。いいから作業に専念。
The sight of Soujuurou putting away a ladder taller than himself seemed to have provoked an emotional response in Aoko. Then, in an instant, she rolled up her sleeves and began to approach him.
Oh.
This surprised him more than Aoka's sudden appearance and a random smile. Ignoring Soujuurou's bewilderment, Aoko promptly began issuing orders.
はしご、横に倒していいわよ。下の方は私が持つから、あなたは上の方をお願い。
She did all of this so matter-of-factly that Soujuurou began lowering the ladder before he even had a chance to insist that he could do it by himself. With work finished and the sisters' thank you gifts in hand, they should put the church behind them. Since Aoko apparently had something to do around the station, they decided they would walk together until they got there.
でも、本当にアルバイト慣れしてるのね。
Beneath the orange-tinted sky, Aoko spoke more as though she was expressing her thoughts out loud, the striking up a conversation.
そうか。青崎から見てそうなら少しは嬉しいな。
Yeah, finally, you're being nice. Thank you. You're so kind. So I gave her an earnest smile. But then again, he had been beaming ever since he received his pay, so the source of his joy was not so clear.
あのね、
Hey.
あなたは普段が問題ばっかりなんだから、あんまり調子に乗らないように。差し引きゼロっていうか、まだまだマイナスなんだから。
学校のことは言われると悲しくなる。
Soujuurou hung his head dejectedly. Ah, what a sad puppy. Even if his job had been going well, school was still a bust. Exams were one thing, but even classwork was something he had found himself falling behind in.
青崎は成績悪いやつは嫌いか？
まあ頭というか巡りの悪い人との話は疲れるでしょうね。でもあなたはそれ以前だし、そもそも私にはこれっぽっちも関係ないし。でっかいハンデを何とかするのは先生たちの仕事で、それに応えるのはあなたの役目。アルバイトもいいけど帰ったらきちんと予習やっときなさいよ。
それはもちろん。学校の人たちはみんないい人だ。
そうならいいけど、みんないい人？
Aoko cocked her head to one side, unsure how this exchange had resulted in that response. She decided to interpret the Soujuurou as simply expressing his gratitude in his own particular way.
ところで参考までに聞くんだけど、あなた他にどんなバイトしてるの？
どこって商店街が多い。魚のお店とか花の店とか。あ、でも昨日は隣町まで遠出したな。遊園地のアルバイト。
Since the only school authorized locations were in the Misaki shopping district, his response was much as she expected. That is, except for the decidedly unexpected last part.
遊園地ってヤシロギの？
そう。使わなくなった看板とかオブジェとか解体して運び出したんだ。さすがに疲れたな、あれは。
へえ、それは体力勝負でしょうね。
This left Aoko rather impressed. Transporting unused amusement park machinery was not a job that students did willingly in their free time.
でもいいな。私キッチーランドって一度も行ったことないの。三崎町に住んでるのに。
Aoko looked up in the direction of the neighboring town. From here, you could just barely make out the Ferris wheel. Good luck on zipping all that. The round steel frame of the wheel, illuminated by the sunset as it was reminiscent of an old gravestone.
そうか。それは金銭的な理由で。
What? Only poor people say that. Aoko had to stifle her laughter. She knew it would be rude to Soujuurou to burst out laughing, but the remark tickled her funny bone.
そういうんじゃなくて、単純にあれが開園してから立て込んでて遊びに行く暇がなかっただけよ。お金で解決する問題だったらそれこそ今すぐに行ってるわ。
Aoko showed Soujuurou an envelope that contained the pay from the church. There was nothing sinister about the remark and gesture, but the fact that she did not jump at the chance to go made Soujuurou sad.
それなら今度行けばいいじゃないか。
Just a chalice. Wouldn't that be romantic?
ありがとう。けどそれは無理な話。あんたのことだから気づいていないと思うけど、あれ潰れてるのよ。廃園になってからもう2年以上は経つんじゃない？
なんと。
Then when can I entertain myself? It was no more, there were no customers all the time he was there. Exasperated as she was at Soujuurou, the Student Council president seemed to be enjoying herself. At this point, she would be yelling things at Soujuurou like, I can't believe you didn't know that! But this evening, this one and only evening, she found it charming. Hey. Departed ways and Soujuurou returned home to his apartment, immersed himself in his studies. And before he knew it, it was time to go to work. The major cultural difference, though it's certainly not the only point of difference between city and country, was the use of time. It did not matter what part of the city he was in, time flowed far too quickly here. Failing to squeeze even a drop of knowledge from his textbooks, he put them away for the day before heading into town. The night grew deeper as the day turned into tomorrow. Soujuurou reversed his collar to protect his neck from the bare cold and began to make his way back home. Not a soul to be seen, no dogs scrounging for food, no late-night shoppers. Why would there be? The solitary convenience store in the area closed at 11 o'clock. Let's Scout. He mustered with little energy he had to take in an especially deep breath. Man-made landmarks on the desert street. Garish blue fluorescent light, brighter than the stars above, illuminated the darkness. An unconscious sense of anxiety stirred within him.
情けない。夜が怖いのは当たり前じゃないか。
A chill crept up his spine as he attempted to mask his weakness with words. Stay out of the dark. Stay away from deserted places. Where it was for some deeper reason. Or perhaps the fact that he looked so helpless. Everybody he had met in his life seemed to warn him with those words.
そうは言ってもしょうがないし、大体。
What did that even mean? Stay out of the dark. Nowhere in the city was without light. Everywhere, from the bustling train station to the remote residential areas, was illuminated by artificial light, not at least the main roads. It can be a beautiful stuff to look at from a light place. Scary was scary, but this kind of fear was of a different sort than what he too felt in the mountains. The most likely source of his fear was the fact that that this place was governed by starkly different rules. The way in which the city meted out justice was terribly imbalanced. And to the provincial Soujuurou, his lack of familiarity with the laws of the land terrified him far more to the dark. In the mountains, retribution came swiftly to those who broke the rules. Take a game trail, for example. Those who unwittingly trespassed on the way the animal kingdom's domain would, as a matter of course, be savaged by the native wildlife. Accordingly, in Soujuurou's mind, an offender paid the price for one's mistakes immediately. It was not a matter of who punished whom. It was simply that the one who broke the rules would meet instant, tangible retribution. He felt that, in this regard, the laws of the city were far too ambiguous. One could meet their demise without ever knowing where one was in the right or wrong.
けど、基本的には変わらないんだよな、多分。
To put it simply, retribution was delayed. To the good Lord step further. Back home in his village, no one individual had been given the responsibility of maintaining order. In the city, however, someone was put in charge of punishing lawbreakers on behalf of the kind-hearted citizens who lived there. While crime and punishment in the mountains were synonymous, in the city the two were separated, and an unrelated person brought judgment after the crime had been committed. Entering places that must not be entered. Seeing things that must not be seen. Breaking a law had consequences. Someone would come to exact justice for the law that was broken. The result of all this was that the safest way to survive the city was not to stick your nose in the affairs of others. When the people who cared about Soujuurou told him to stay away, they probably meant, if you don't, nobody will be able to help you.
といけない。また近道しそうになった。
No matter how much of a nuisance these obstacles were, one could not just climb over a neighbor's fence, even when one's apartment was just the other side. If the people inside happened to be awake and called the police, nobody would lift a hand to help him. With his misguided view of the city, Soujuurou once again ended his day in peace. Unable to fall asleep right away, he gazed out his window upon the night sky from the floor of his apartment. The cityscape had caused him to tremble in fear when he first moved here. The convenience of solving almost any problem with the flip of a switch. The novelty of living a wall away from a complete stranger. It all disappeared into the night sky when you looked up.
こんな空もあるのか。
Unconsciously, he recalled his own words. What them stars? What a cramped sky. There were no starry nights. Could he even survive here? His even misgivings since his first night continued to haunt him. His eyelids fell shut. Although he was fraught with worry, Soujuurou's body felt the fatigue from his work and studies, and thus he fell fast asleep. And we finished all of that, and we're gonna get back to the normal chapters another episode. So for now, thank you for watching. Subscribe because it's free, and I'll see you in another one real soon. Yo,